All right. So my first question for you is, first you can tell me the story about what happened that day on the bus with your nanny, right? What was her name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh God, what was her name? Oh, Megan. I can't even believe my mind just went blank.
It's okay. So what happened?
Well, I got on the bus, and I was at that point a teenager, and she called my name, Leona. Her name was Leona. And she called my name, and I looked at the back of the bus, and there she was. And she was with me till I was 13 years old.
Uh-huh.
And I was probably about 15 or so when I saw her again, maybe even 16. And I ran to the back of the bus, and I hugged her and everything. And I sat down beside her, and she said, "Oh, Miss Shirley, you can't sit here." I said, "What do you mean I can't sit here?" She said, "Oh, they won't let you sit with me." I said, "Well, I'm sitting with you. I don't care what they say." And she says, "No, ma'am, you're white." And I got so upset, and I said, "Well, then that bus driver's going to have to tell me that I can't." Well, you know what? He did. Came back there and he told me I can't sit with her. And I hugged her and I kissed her and I told her goodbye and told her how sorry I was and crying. And never saw her again. Never saw her again.
Why didn't you see her again? Did she just stop working for you?
No. Oh, yeah, because she was with us. Well, I had my grandma alive. And when my grandma died, I was 13. And my uncles were paying for her, and they no longer needed her because, we didn't have grandma with me, and grandma was sick, and she did everything, cleaned the house, did the clothes. She used to make me crinolines to wear underneath my skirts. You know what crinolines are?
No, what are Kremlins?
Crinolines make your clothes stand out. They're heavy, they're thick underneath. So if you've got a nice big skirt on, it just makes it real full and pretty. And she made me all kinds of things. And she was like my mom. And then when my grandma died, we couldn't have her anymore. So now I was 13 when my grandmother died. So it was just the fact that I saw her on the bus was really unusual. And the fact that she called out to me, and then after that, I never even knew where she lived. I mean, there was no way I would ever see her again unless it was an accident like I saw her then.
I have a few questions. What were your thoughts about segregation?
I didn't know any different, and this is the truth, between black and white. When we had the garbage collectors, the trashmen that came, my mother always would give them something, a sandwich or something, and, talk to them. So as far as I was concerned, they were like me. And when I went to school, there was not one black child, of course, in the whole school. There were blacks, they had, even when you go into stores like Birdine's, there was a fountain in there for color and for white. The white had to use a water fountain, and the black had to use a separate water fountain. And I could never understand this because as far as I really, really was upset that the blacks did not have the same privileges that we did.
And another question. What made you so close with her? Like, why? Was it because she was a mother figure to you? Is that why?
Yes, she was. I loved her. She was so good to me.
And
I didn't realize that there was a difference, that she was black and I was white.
And one more question. Did segregation change or affect your thoughts of black people? So no, you just answered that. You thought they were equivalent to you.
That's right. That's right.
And how is your life?
Never was prejudiced. Never was I prejudiced against them. Ever.
And another question. How is your life compared to now growing up in an all-white school? So how is it different growing up now, or like living in the society now, than how it was back then? because there's still some form of segregate. Well, racism is still big, but is it a lot? Obviously, it's a lot different now.
Yes. Yeah, and I never knew any difference then because everybody was white. My school was white.
Uh-huh.
And the only time I ever knew a difference is if I would go somewhere where they had bathrooms said colored on them and white on them. Water fountains colored and white. So I never really, really knew what it was like to be going to a school that had black people in it. And even when I went to Florida State in Tallahassee, everyone there was white because they had Florida A&M for the blacks and they had FSU, and I never saw a black person, so I never really got a chance to know any difference in that respect, but I've never, ever really thought they were any worse or better than I am.
Okay, Grandma, thank you so much for talking to me and letting me know all this.
Do you think I answered all your questions okay?
Yes, and I'll call you if I come up with any more. But thank you. Because this is just my rough draft.